How are you? Dale won't be here today. I'm his clone. You can tell from my shirt. Just call me Buck Cash. All
Well,
right, that's who I am.
at least it's not. At least it's not buck naked.
Buck,
I don't. I'm sorry.
Buck like Midnight
I thought you said
Cowboy.
buck naked.
Buck Cash.
Okay.
Well, what cash do you want to own? You want to own the dollar?
No,
You
the
want to
ten
own the
year.
yen?
The
You want to
10 year.
own the 10-year?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's start there, then, Mike. Everyone's pretty bulled up on rates right now.
Yeah.
And Dale said to, talk about the fact that we might be diverging, putting in a high here. I know we have the ISM, and I am looking for the old highs to be taken out at 435.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, like all markets, Mike, nothing goes in a straight line. And
No.
and now it's almost unanimous about higher rates, and we're hearing higher and higher terminal rates every day. Makes it ripe for some type of sell-off, yields to pull back. And if you were in the room, I talked about it and put out a short in the yen about 55 pips ago
I'll show that
at,
later.
at 137. So, I did make a mistake. I got short euro a little early and got out, and I'd be making money now.
Want to
But
re-enter?
okay, so anyway, it looks, but I recommitted to alongside the dollar, looking
Oh,
for new highs in the dollar. Um, Gold's acting okay. So with all of this going on, now I notice the S&Ps are starting to come back here. The market's not acting great with tailwinds of a weaker dollar and yields calming down. And yesterday I saw, Mike, you were saying you were recommending that people short any equities that were under their 50-day. And yesterday we had a pretty good bid. Well, I mean, we got up to, 40.20 or so before we came off. So there must have been some nice shorts that worked yesterday. Your relative weakness. Did you take any of those?
I did, but some did, some worked, some didn't work, coach. And thank God, as I'm going to show my screen afterward. Thank God, or subsequently, like I said, I'm just trying to trade tactically, to trade tactically for the moment. If I go back to 10 year with you, the longer that coils,
Yeah.
the longer that there's going to be either if it even if it goes up to that 439 you said,
Yeah.
and pulls back. I mean, it's still going to create a lot of lopsided positions,
Okay.
because if it does break there, and then if it fails, it's so what I
I think we're going to pull back, Mike. I'm looking for a pullback, maybe all the way to 365, which is a breakout. I don't know what would cause yields. Maybe we get a benign ISM. I was kind of thinking that, if the S&Ps took out 3920, that would be a good reason for yields to soften up, maybe like the old days when we have risk off, bonds actually pop, but they look pretty negative. The bonds are holding this support level, but right now I wouldn't be short bonds. I'd be looking for rallies.
okay.
I'm kind of the other way. Uh, but we talked about higher yields from here all the way back here.
Yeah.
And that's not that long ago. That was the employment report. So,
Like I said, it's just another good or bad number, and we're right back to where we were, reevaluating the same thing from this Tuesday to last Tuesday.
all right, now I have a little FOMO here, Mike. I think I may have missed the gold low today. We did diverge. I was looking for 1803, and this happened when I was sleeping. We're about 1804, and it pulled back, and it's acting pretty good. But the one thing that tells me that maybe I don't have FOMO is we're near month's end, right?
Correct.
Okay, so when you look at a monthly candle, that's a pretty ugly candle there.
I didn't even think of
Um,
that, Coach. Good point.
it's a pretty ugly candle in S&Ps. So if I'm looking for reversals, there's nothing outside of miracle action in the markets tomorrow that are going to negate these red reversal or weak candles.
That I agree.
So normally, just like turnaround Tuesday every week, I would look for new lows, lower lows from this month, early next month for a potential turn.
Mhm.
So, something I forget to do, but, like right now, it feels like this may have been the gold bottom, but it's very possible we could work it again. Gold's still acting stronger, except for today in silver. But here's a look at the silver monthly candle.
I saw the, I
It's
saw the,
ugly.
yeah.
It's ugly. So, I mean, are we just going to bottom from this bad monthly close? Or should I look for some type of reversal, which means I need to see this month's lows taken out first and then turn up next month?
Well,
So,
either way, it's just like anything entering this market. Believe me, I consider myself, I don't, well, actually, whatever. I'm not
yeah,
shy entering trades. So you got to
yeah.
enter them. So yeah, just with that channel, you got to enter the bottom channels, with low size, because it breaks the other way, it's going to cascade conversely. So it's just, you know what, coach, we have to have a plan, and it's a great plan, by the way. Uh, my plan is a little bit different you know, until right now, until like it's bearish that yields are breaking out. No,
Um, well, they broke out, but they've had a run. Yes, you would think that it's not good for anything.
all
We're
right.
still at negative real rates, but it's more competition for every asset.
Well, I
Yes.
no, touche, but I just think that where I'm just going by how equities are acting. Some of them, for example, like a Target today, which was
Let me give
negative.
you the screen, and you could. I want to ask you about those things. And just one last thing, if you're
No,
a
please.
metalhead, you have platinum acting a lot better. We've had two drives. Maybe there could be one more. Here's the action. Okay, look good. This was last week. We flushed out, cleaned out the lows, the stops under the lows, and it's acting pretty good. Platinum should be your leader
I saw
and
that.
on this move. So uh, something for people. If you want to be long metals, you should own some platinum. All right, buddy, I'm going to give you the screen and let's get to some of these individual issues that you're trading in the last 24, 48 hours. It's all yours.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me go to TradeGATEHub. Where are we? This is how I sign in. I got a lot of windows open. That's what type of day. Even though the market made some nice moves and it's flatlining to a degree, I have more windows open than usual, and that's a bad sign. Not a bad sign. It's just I may be forcing things. I'm not forcing them. Uh,
Are you hunting? You looking around for
I
stuff to
am
do?
hunting. I got the book.
Okay. All right.
I also have more written down. Is it okay? Is it as old as I am, if you will? I'm writing things down, but I'm going to share the screen, and I don't have any particular view on the market, except that I have a longer term view, but as a short term, I don't, because I just think that every economic number, as we're even breaking high today, if you will, to after ISM, is so sensitive that I can't. I mean, it's more trepidation. Again, this has been my theme. I have more trepidation putting money to work, even in pieces, and I have been, just even like yesterday and today, as the VIX has calmed down a little bit. Putting short term, it's beautiful trading, very active, as we can even see. It's even showing in the price action of stocks. We're even seeing in the traffic of our TGH members of putting in trades, and they've been more active than usual. Like we have, listen, no one's shy in the room, and we appreciate that. And a lot of people have opinions, but I've been seeing that more people have been acting on them than usual,
Okay.
which leads to good trading. Lewis chiming in, thank you. Okay, so this is what. Let me start. Let me go backwards here and give you my screen of my charts. Okay, so here's the long term chart. Let me go more. Here's the spies. You know what I mean? Everybody's looking at the spies at the 50-day and the
Yeah.
200-day. The SPX is no different. We're
Yeah.
all looking at the 10-year. For this 4%. That's either going to say what you do would be very nice for the markets if it broke everybody. If it broke above that, got to the 439, flushed a lot of people out, and then just made a reset, if you will, and just kind of put the inflation situation, well, in the rearview mirror, and to a degree, until maybe the next Fed speak. I don't know if I articulated that correctly, but here's a chart on Google. Now I know Google has a lot of that ChatGPT hangover, but Google, and I know it's some other stocks like this SMCI that we've had. A very good stock has been breaking out. Cube was a stock we had nicely this morning. But going to the other ones like even like a Microsoft. Oh God, we don't want to be in that one. Although I have traded SFT. Everything is, it almost seems, and another theme that seems redundant, and it's all, I have to apologize because it's getting worn out. But when you have all these coiled stocks at these very sensitive levels,
Yeah.
It's stick to stock picking and use these other stocks as gauges. The VIX has popped a little bit. Netflix out of nowhere was down like $15 the other day. Stocks, Tesla, having a nice run but stalling. So it is still stock picking, but I'm short AMD now, by the way. And why am I short AMD on a side note? Okay, first of all, it's below the 200-day. That's my safety net, if you will. I would love it to be below the 50-day, but it's negative. It's negative when the rest of my stocks are positive, if you will.
It's a strong group. It's the weakest stock in a strong group.
Well, not only I agree with that again, but I think I'm playing the rotation properly. Exxon, to me, Chevron had good news today. That sold off, still under the 200-day. Really, the other play is the oils. Exxon Mobil, I'm short. Now, I don't know what's going to propel Exxon Mobil back over, 3 moving averages, all of short, intermediate, and even well, not the 200-day backwards. So there's Exxon. I'm short a little CPE. I tried to be a wise guy and short maybe the stronger ones in the group, but certainly, the XLE it's certainly not acting very well right here. It does have the 200-day support, but my EOG that I was battling for 3 or 4 days, still a stock that had earnings from 122, it hit a low of 111. And even the other day, 3 days ago, I said 111 to 112 is a sweet spot. I happened to get the sweet spot at 112. It only went up to a couple of dollars.
So you were short EOG?
No, I was long it. I played it for schnitzel.
Okay.
Kramer would say.
All right. But you're still short Exxon.
Yes.
Okay, because the XLE looked like, not much of a bounce off that very important support. It was kind of a feeble little bounce. So
personally, I'm actually being a little bit
and crude is up today, Mike, and they're not acting good.
I'm being hypocritical because of I'm playing actually the index instead of individual stocks, as you can see from my screen here. Even with crude ups, the stocks are even missed, as Oxy had news today. So the couple of the big ones are positive, a negative, and so it's mixed. So that shows me that maybe the XLE isn't the place to be. Maybe short the ones that are, like I said, that are weakest on the day. If you want to do that oil short trade,
okay.
You have Target. They're undecided. Target's up and down and up and down. Nobody's really sure on that one. What else am I saying?
So it's way off its daily highs, though, right?
Correct.
So people sold into that.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Maybe Walmart should be up a little bit more when Target's up. Coin is having a little bit. All just like everything else, Coach. They're all between this 50.
Feels kind of heavy.
They're all they're all in the same thing. Let's go to the IWM. Same. Well, actually, the IWM is acting better. Let's go.
IWM looks to be the strongest index now.
Right. Here's Amazon,
which is a change over the last couple of years.
True. Here's Amazon. Amazon's below everything. What catalyst is going to start Amazon here? I mean, I understand if you want to start stocking some away, if that's I'm not going to talk you out of it, certainly, but this type of stock, and you know what? They've been actually mega stocks have been shrugging off and not taking markets down as they usually should. When one stock reports, it's usually a chance to just rebalance out of the sector. But certainly Amazon, much like Google, much like Apple, that's still flirting with the 200-day. Now I know these are the older stocks, but they still have a lot of weight in the indexes. So
yeah, they do.
A lot of these stocks are in this triangle press, of this pattern. And it's still then people are complacent, stock picking. You know what I mean? Tesla's down $1, but Rivian's up nicely. Some of these, Nevada's up, AMD's down. So there's still a lot of shuffling. General Motors, which was acting like a behemoth, it was a strong stock 2 weeks ago. Now it's doing the same thing. It's doing the same thing we're talking about, testing
going to break down
important psychological levels. And there are also psychological levels. Algos are more
I
they
feel
have,
I feel a flush coming, Mike,
I do
especially
too.
after looking at the charts that you showed me today. How about a I don't
Why
know,
not short
say
of Gilead? Everybody, look at
yeah,
Gilead was, what's gonna, that's breaking a new low
it's
right here.
going to 72. I mean, I'm
Okay,
glad
whatever.
we're on the air today. I think that people should take us seriously about being too long. I mean, we take out 3920, we'll be at 3800 in a heartbeat in the
I think
S&P.
3,900
And
is the sense, is it's a very, very sensitive area.
it's a
I'm not
battleground.
alone, which is the problem. It is
Yeah.
the problem, but certainly if it comes to fruition, because there's such a battle between the bears are so bearish on fundamentals, and the bulls still have some technicals there. So
Yeah,
and it
they have
is
the
about
breakout.
it goes back and forth between 60-40, who's up, who's down. But if one of them breaks, much like the TLT that's sensitive to the 10-year, it's going to be there's going to be a whipsaw, and it's going to be a little uncomfortable for a little bit on both sides. So that's how I'm going to play. So it's stock picking.
Pull
That's
up a 4-hour chart on VIX, not the product, the VIX itself, a 4-hour chart.
with VXX.
VIX.
I don't have the VIX here, coach.
You don't have just VIX?
No, I don't. I don't use it. I don't have it. Do you want
Okay.
to go back to you? I want
No,
to
it's
see it.
okay.
No
Okay.
new share. How do I share a screen with you?
I'm sure you have to just stop sharing.
Okay, stop share.
Okay. I'm going to share. So I know how, biased people are against VIX because they've lost so much money in VIX over the years and the VIX products. And, there's some recency bias with that. But the way I look at this right now is that it's possibly a flag developing off this straight. Let's not even start it from here, which you could go 3 waves. We need another wave to the upside. But if this is just a pullback off this run, 18 to 3.5, it's going to go to 27 to 30
No.
on
Nobody
the
would
next
argue.
wave. So I think 30 is a possibility. And if 30 is a possibility, I mean, where does that take the S&Ps? Down towards I think they want to try 40 first, but probably down to 3,800. We'll see. You would think that if I'm right about a pullback on yields, which let's see if it's still happening. Yeah, let's see how they're fading. Yields are almost unchanged on the day. Look
I
at that
see
red
that. I'm looking
candle.
now as you were
So
saying.
so if the market ever had a chance to melt up, wouldn't you think it would be now with yields coming down? Because I'm saying if they don't do it, if they fail with yields coming down, then the narrative is beginning to shift from worrying about inflation to worrying about growth. And that's something I think that's the next chapter in this market is the growth aspect. And lower rates don't help bad earnings if they start coming in.
Coach,
It
another
takes a
thing.
long time.
No, I appreciate that. Another thing, may I say, and this is more important than our opinions, because we know we follow smart money, we follow sentiment, and we put our egos aside after all this time. I'm not seeing anybody going out besides weekly plays. Nobody's stepping up on anything outside
Wow.
of weekly plays.
All
Zero.
right. Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Have
some
you
people
seen
are buying.
any option sweeps that
That's
caught
what I'm
your eye
saying.
today?
No,
No, it's doing it.
no.
They're all playing 1-day options or 1-week options.
They're going out, they're playing weeklies, or most of them weeklies, because if they're going to take a position, the smarter guys, listen, if you take a daily, if you're trading these options on a daily basis, my opinion is the shorter time you frame you go for anything, the more you're trying to time it. So I don't
Yeah.
put much credence in the short term. The weeklies I put, because then they have some times to readjust 2-3 days, and they have more time to adjust with the equity. So weeklies, the answer is yes.
Okay. All right. But no one's going out to, we're in February to June
No,
with any conviction in May or June of anything.
I haven't listened. It's my job to convey that. It's my job to
Yeah.
actually act on it. Forget about conveying it.
Right.
But the answer to that is no.
Okay.
I want to, cool, because I much like a lot of people, I'm not alone here. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say that.
Look
Maybe
how cheap these miners have gotten, Mike.
I
Look at
put
that.
20,000 to buy FSM. I didn't get it. What was it? 308. That was my
Yeah,
first bid.
where
Has a good till cancel
I'd
now.
like to buy it down here. I don't know if I'm gonna have a chance.
Well, my first
Uh,
bid is a good till cancel 308. That's where your line is.
no, my line's down here
No,
now.
go to the
I
next
see
one
my,
up. Oh,
oh,
312.
this line? Oh,
Yeah.
312's halfway back. Yeah, it actually touched.
Mine's at 308. I got 20,000 good till cancel right now, 308.
Okay. Um, WTI, look, see, this is what I'm talking about. If the oils aren't performing, look how WTI looks pretty good.
It
I
don't
mean,
know.
I think it's going to rally back to here. I'm still bearish. I think we'll see new lows under 73, but it might have some more to the upside. But you know what? They don't move together. If you were using WTI last year as your guide for what to do in the oil shares, first of all, you got killed because you're trying to short it. You're going, well, crude's going down. Why are the oil shares going up? So you missed the long side. And, maybe crude goes up and the shares break
No, I
for
agree that,
some
but
reason,
it
they're
just, it
they're
just,
completely unlinked I've never seen it before.
I haven't either, but you know what? It's a time where traders have to adjust. And fortunately, one of our most esteemed guests has been here, and it's a catchphrase. It's price action, Trump sentiment. So if
Yeah.
you closed your textbook and you actually saw things instead of waiting for things that you thought were going to happen, not going to happen, you might have been. It's easier said than done. I get it, but it's an old trader theory anyway. Look at let the market tell you what to do.
That's a pretty nice reversal day in gold.
I know. I know. I sold it. I sold some AU. I was sick of it. I sold it.
So if it is, it's just starting, and we're going to have another wave like this from wherever the low is, and this could have been it. So if we're going to have this was actually
BFC.
about $250. So from 1800, that equals 2050 is where gold could go if you have equality from here.
Like I said, if one of our situations with those ranges come to fruition, I'm going to have time to act on gold. I have a plan. And I
Okay.
don't think I'm going to miss anything, because if the move that we're talking about happens or stretches those ranges or events, I have my plan where I don't think I'm going to be late. I'm not going to, obviously, I'm not going to be in there early, because it's going to be an event that I'm going to act upon after, but I'll get into it. I have a plan.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, that's what's on my mind
That's
is
what's on my mind too.
everyone's, I'm taking a contrarian stance on yields. I think they're going to drop. And what's going to be interesting is to see what responds best to yields coming back in a bit. And most would guess semis, maybe the dollar.
And banks.
Yeah. Okay. With yields coming down.
Well, I'm just saying that's the semis and banks have been the ones that went up first.
Yeah.
Actually, the ones that are weak now. If you look at Goldman Sachs now, Coach, look at this one, if I may. Just can you punch up GS? You got that there?
I'm going to give it to you again. Oh, I'll do it anyway. I
Yeah,
should watch
GS,
Goldman.
the big daddy.
Yeah.
They call it the big fella. I could hear
They
my
didn't.
my
They
mentor.
weren't. You know what, Mike? They wouldn't hire me. They weren't interested in graduates from Northern Illinois University.
Yeah,
I guess I had to go Ivy League or something.
they
Is it
couldn't. They didn't.
the Goldman Sachs, kind of like the Ohio
They
State?
didn't hire me because they caught me with the Wizinator. I tried to get. I passed everything. No, Lincoln. You remember? No, I didn't
Yeah,
try.
I did.
I didn't want
All
to.
right.
That's
It
not.
looks.
So
It
look at
looks like.
Goldman had earnings today. So
It looks
listen.
like crappy.
Well, it had news, range, good
Yeah.
price action, relative, at least if you want, to the market. So that's a macro situation. Throw that in there as well. I don't, maybe
Yeah.
it's not in many indexes, but that stock there, much like between the 50 and 200 day with news, if that
Yeah.
goes down a little bit, that may shake some of the guys with the higher stocks. So I'm serious.
It's going to at least, I think, come back and test this low. If it gets through here, gosh, we could go the October lows.
I completely agree.
All right.
Got to be
Well,
wary of it.
I tell you what, what's great about these talks? We don't script one darn thing, and it's just, flow of thought and what's going on in our heads. And we never know what we're going to, we have some ideas of what we want to talk about, but I think the good stuff is the stuff we didn't plan to talk about. that we end up finding.
Well, the good thing is,
during these
the
things,
good
you
thing
know.
is we have decades and decades worth of subconscious references that we're not just throwing darts out there. They're coming either from experiences,
Yeah.
books, anything. So, like
You
I
don't
said,
know how much money I've spent as a psychiatrist trying to get rid of all those things in my head. Anyway, good hunting.
it is.
We have a great guest Thursday.
Who's that, Coach?
You follow Josh Shapiro?
No, I don't.
He was one of the unknown wizards in Jack's book, the Unknown Market Wizards. So, Jack found him. We'll find out how he made that book. And I went through his stream. I prep for these guys.
No,
And
but
you know what he's saying?
what?
He's betting against a recession because everyone thinks there'll be one. It's only a question of when.
The market
not
already,
if.
but the market already balanced that out. It's already
Well,
balanced out.
He's saying everyone is so underinvested. It's going to take such a long time for people to become overinvested again. So we're going to hear a bull. We're going to hear a bull on Thursday.
No, well, we're going to hear it. I have both. I have a case for both.
Yeah. Keep an open mind. It keeps your account open. That's what I say.
Like they say, everything's better with a view.
All right, Mike. Well, let's wrap it there.
Yes,
My trading warrior brother.
you got it.
Nice. Yeah, I really like everyone pay attention to Goldman. I'm glad Mike called my attention to it. It gives me more conviction about that VIX could do it.
Like I'm saying, if that shakes down a little bit, there are some people that, it's not standing out right now, but did have news. And if it goes down, it would shake a lot of people. Goldman's, it would just psychologically shake a little bit of people. And those
it used to be best of breed.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, but now
you still consider it best of breed? Yeah, that's right.
Exxon breaking lower. Oils are breaking lower. Let's get in
All
there.
right. All right, buddy.
All right, cheers, everyone.